Hi, this is David from Master Management Consulting, and in today's video we are going to review mail merge inside Microsoft Word, or the integration of data from different data sources. It could be an Excel workbook, CSV file, text file, or eventually a SQL database that we can integrate with within Word, within Microsoft Word, from the Mailings tab, and using the mail merge feature available inside it. Alright, let's go inside Word. From the ribbon inside Mailings tab, we can look into the possibility of creating envelopes, labels, but this is not anymore so much in use since we send emails. We could look into start mail merge and use eventually email messages, and this will set our document as an email, and with that we can establish a connection with a data source. When clicking on select recipient, we have three options: type a new list, use an existing list, or choose from Outlook contacts. When creating an email message with mail merge, you need to have Outlook working and set with an email account, because this will use your Outlook email account or any email account that you have associated with your Outlook desktop application. So you need to have that set up. Eventually you could use the step-by-step mail merge wizard, which will open on the right side a step-by-step wizard that will guide you through. So we are going to use email messages. We can start our document, we can use the current document, or eventually start from a template and choose from a template. So if we click here, we have different templates available for us to use. Let's start from a blank document and choose to select the recipient. Alright, we have a list that prepared earlier, some demo data, some sample data that I have. So in which we have the business entity ID, the title, the first name, middle name, last name, and different other information, date of first purchase, the date of birth, the marital status, whether married or single, the gender, the number of children, the number of children at home, and eventually the number of cars and other information that we could use for our mail merge. So let's close that workbook, as it needs to be closed in order for us to establish the connection. So we can either continue the mail merge wizard, or eventually select recipient and choose use an existing list. We need to navigate to our workbook. We could eventually connect to a new data source and follow the wizard to connect to a specific data source. We have the possibility, to use new SQL Server connection and follow the wizard to connect to it. Otherwise, we could just navigate to the folder where our data source is. So for me, I have customer data. I open that and I create a connection with that specific data, which is located in the worksheet customers. I want to make sure that I have this checkbox selected for the first row being recognized as headers for our dataset. I can click on OK. And now I have established the connection. Notice that before we didn't have all those buttons available. They were grayish. Now that we have established the connection, we have access to more we have access to those buttons. So now we can eventually edit our list. We have the possibility to filter that list and sort that list. So to filter and sort, we can simply click on the column header and apply the sorting, or eventually filter it. So when we have many data, we don't have access to the filter. There would be too many. But if we go to, for example, gender, those filters are available here. We can select male or female and select eventually single or married for the marital status. Now let's say that we want to have all those that have more than at least one or more children. So we could go into advanced and choose children. Where do we have that? Okay, total children greater than, and it should be greater than 0. And click OK with that. Let's say that we want to apply a second filter as well to only keep those that have children at home as well. So total children more than 0, and total at home should be, and number of children at home should be equal or greater than or equal to 2. Okay. And let's say to also filter the list a little bit further, we need to have marital status should be equal to M for married. Okay. So we target a very specific segment of our data set, and then we want to sort it by first name, and secondly we want to sort it by last name. Okay. And we can click OK with that. Okay, so now we have filtered our dataset and sort it as well. We could eventually use those links inside. Eventually we can find a specific recipient, and if we are in the US, we could use also validate addresses. For that we will need to install an address validation software and activate it as an add-in. Okay, so we have no interest for that. We will not activate it for now. Alright, so let's click OK. Now we have established the connection with our list, filtered it, sorted it, and we have access to all those different fields as we have seen before in our data set, the title, the first name, last name, and so on, that we can insert in our document. So let's say that we are now going to draft our email, dear first name. This will insert a placeholder containing the first name, and we can actually preview that result from here, and we can also navigate between the different records. So this will create a new email for each record. So the first one are all Aaron, so we need to go until the 7th and 8th to have different one, and we can see that we have actually 2,525 records. So dear first name, and okay, so we can continue our message and try and personalize it. So alright, so since your first purchase in, and then we can insert the date of the first purchase that we have seen. So date of first purchase. So since you offer purchase in, we have come up with a new product that could interest one of your kids. So so what do we have? Okay, a total number of children at home, one. So that could interest one of your two kids that are still at home. And that's how we could personalize the message. So we can actually toggle between the preview fields and the actual field placeholder. So we have the first name, the date of first purchase, and the number of children at home. This will vary, of course, based on the actual record, and we can actually navigate between those fields. So this second arrow has actually 3 kids, and we can see the date is different as well. So we have a personalized message, and we can also use some of those rules that are existing here to even further personalize that message. So let's imagine that for female customer, we are going to propose a specific object. Let's say for female it could be a dress, and for male it could be something else, whatever, a trouser, a t-shirt, or whatever. So we could place here a if statement, and actually we have this insert word field if dialog box that opens, and we could say that if the gender is equal to F, we would propose dress, all right? And then if it is not F, it's surely male. Well, in our case, we imagine that in our dataset we have only male and females. And for if it is not a female, well, we would propose a t-shirt. So, and we insert that. So we would create our sentence and for your next purchase, we are happy to offer you a dress or t-shirt. So now we can have a look if we have any female. Yeah, now we have actually Abigail, okay, a female, so it's gonna be a dress. Okay. So we could also change the way the field is formatted, and for that we would need to toggle field code and place the so it would be yep, it would be so with the at sign, and then okay, we can go back to that. Okay, we need to place okay the forward the backward slash, the at sign to indicate that we are now going to use a date format, and then okay, in between double quote we precise either 3M for a short date or 4M for a longer month name, D for the day, and Y for the year. We toggle between the field code and the field placeholder with actually Control F9. no, sorry, that's not the right one. Control F9 need to insert a field. So, well, it's gonna be with the right clicking and toggle field code, or eventually Alt F9 to toggle all field code. Control F9. Alt F9, Alt F9. All right, so we have prepared, okay, our email. We can eventually also display, okay, all the fields inside our email, so we can see that we have all the different fields inside. Okay, so again, we can toggle between the preview and the field name inside. So number of children, and then okay, we have here if statement that evaluates as well. So if the gender is F, female, then it's going to be a dress. If it is male, it's going to be a t-shirt. All right. Okay, so once we are done creating our message, okay, we can of course continue with greetings from the Pearl of Africa, David, for the signature. Okay, once we are done with that, okay, we can finish and merge. So if it is an email, we can send the mail merge. We need to indicate which field contains the email address, and in that case, okay, now the dataset we don't have, but if it was there, we would select it, construct our subject line, new offer for this month, and send it. Precise whether we need to have the mail format as HTML or plain text, or eventually as an attachment. And then we can merge that all together and create our mail merge to send using Outlook. Alright, that's it for this review of mail merge, integrating data from external sources into Word and creating a personalized document or personalized message. Actually, we could use the same to create an invoice, a receipt, or any other business document that could be addressed for each of our supplier, clients, partner, and personalize it. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.